This is my mom and two of her younger cousins, Ronnie and Jojo. I call him Uncle Ronnie because of our age gap, but his younger brother Jojo has always felt like an older cousin. Despite how it looks, I've always felt a bit detached from my family due to our lack of true communication, our lack of understanding of each other's point of views. But after an emotionally draining funeral for my grandfather, a congregation of me, my mom, my uncle Ronnie, and Jojo emerged a conversation about violence. My mom and Uncle Ronnie drink their beers while taking turns telling mini clips of a fight my mom recently got in with one of her older cousins. After laughing and reminiscing, my mom began to boast about my little sister's recent act of violence after being provoked by a boy in school. Of course, talking about my little sister always swings the conversation to me due to our obviously different personalities. What about you, Dasani, like the water? I don't fight people. After I said this, I expected the same response I usually get when I say something people in my family don't say. Sentences that usually get me labeled as white and leads to conversations of why my parents should have raised us in Boston. But that didn't happen. Instead, Uncle Ronnie asked, "Why?" This moment was almost surreal. My uncle was giving me a chance to explain something to my mom and everyone else in the room. Something I wish I could explain to everyone that uses violence as a way to solve things. I have a clearly friendly disposition, and I enjoy getting to know and befriend diverse groups of people. This being said, I have a lot of experience in dealing with conversations of all different types, and I've always managed to get out of each one without any physical violence. I thought they would stop me there, tell me that they got the gist and pick a new conversation topic, but instead they stood and sat, still intrigued with facial expressions that I read without hesitation as, "Go on." It's just that fights usually break out through arguments that usually start with someone saying or doing something that someone else either misheard or misinterpreted. After this action or words are said, the other player in the matter reacts in an usually uncalled for or inappropriate way that turns the molehill into a mountain. To sum it up, physical fights happen through misunderstandings that are embellished emotionally by pride and or social status. I could see that they all agreed with my thesis, so I continued with an example. Not too long ago, a friend of mine had told me a girl that she was friends with wanted to fight me. My friend said that this girl was under the impression that I had flirted with her boyfriend of 2 years. I thought this was bizarre and relayed back to my friend that I had no idea why this girl would think this. My friend continued by explaining a situation where I had apparently asked the girl's boyfriend about his stomach hair. This situation did happen, only it wasn't me who had asked the question, it was another friend of mine. The boyfriend of 2 years had misremembered the occasion and told his girlfriend it was me who was flirting. To fix the issue with the female who wanted to fight me, I met with her in the lobby after school that day. I made sure to keep my tone light and unaccusing like when approaching the girl and stating to her that a mutual friend of ours had told me that she had thought I was flirting with her boyfriend. I told her that I had no idea why she would think this. She said her boyfriend said so. Then she told me the situation my friend had previously told me. After explaining to her the same thing I explained to my friend, she told me we were cool, but that she had planned on fighting me over the situation before our conversation. I walked away smiling at her, despite actually feeling like doing the complete opposite. In the moment of confronting the girl who had an issue with me, I could have let my anger and pride get the best of me. I could have yelled and argued that her boyfriend was arrogant and stupid for even considering that I was interested in him in any way. I could have provoked her forward and gotten into a real fistfight with her. And in doing those things, I would have solved Nothing. I would have fought a girl over a situation that never occurred, and the only aftermath would have been a few high fives, a suspension, and a high school long lasting grudge with a peer. When it comes to times of confrontation, I suppress the dramatic word vomit that the average person spews when in an argument, and I speak words of logic, unless I'm with my siblings. When I finished my spiel, my family looked proud. Usually they are proud of my grades or proud of my high responsibility level when it comes to helping around the house, just general older sibling things adults are proud of. They had never really seemed genuinely proud of a personality trait of mine. I've always felt like my family's love was a bit conditional. That if my grades began to slip, and if I slacked my responsibilities at home, that they wouldn't love me as much. I didn't feel like I could offer them more than those things. But when they listened to me rant about why I'm not violent, despite the fact that they all are, I realized their conditional love was all in my head and that they love me. For me. It was empowering.